What's going on, guys? We're back, and I am here with Jon. Yeah, Jon
Yeah.
Connor. Brother. How are you, my guy?
Man, as you can tell by my struggle beard, I've not had much time to relax or chill. But that is a good thing. It's a blessing anytime that you're doing what you love. They say, you'll never work a day at all as long as you're doing what you love. So everything I'm doing right now, I love, but I've been working my tail off. But yeah, this beard is telling the tale on me right now.
Oh, I agree. For anybody who's watching this, one, please have a safe and festive 4th of July. If you are in New Mexico coming down to the UFO Festival, July 4th weekend, come stop by. I'll shake your hand. I'll take a picture with you and come support Frost Giant Games as we will be having the Galactic Gridiron, which is a Madden tournament. Proceeds going to Make a Wish, New Mexico. Let's do this for the kids. Let's make it huge for the kids. Um, but also, I wanted to talk about. So I've been making announcements recently for Anguilla, and I've been using your music as the background for
Let's
it.
go. Let's go. Thank you, sir.
I used Marvelous because I that worked perfectly, and then I used Work.
Let's go. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, bro.
I'm always trying to figure out like ways to do it, and I don't want to be biased, but when I search your music, I'm like, yeah, that fits for what I'm trying to get done across. So it's always fun, choosing one of your songs for our posts. So if you head over to the Ingorilla Instagram, you're gonna just see, same way as it's spelt here on the screen, you're just gonna see a lot of Jon Connor, which is very much so, very deserved. But my friend, you got to watch an event. You got to watch most of an event that I didn't get to watch because I was traveling for record for work on the Indies. What were your thoughts on Night of Champions?
Night of Champions. Okay, from top to bottom, it started off with Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I thought they had a dope match. I wasn't disappointed. Big match feel. Um, Cody won, obviously, which I think we all kind of expected that was what was gonna happen. This is a situation where I didn't want to be surprised. I didn't want Randy Orton to surprise me and end up winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted exactly what happened to happen, which is Cody Rhodes somehow winding up against John Cena again and reclaiming his title. Um, but the little Easter egg there in that match was that Randy Orton had Randy Orton heel face at the end of the match. When Cody was giving his speech and talking about, how great Randy was looking like, man, I'll smack the shit out of you, is what it's what he was looking like. And I love it. So that's planting seeds for a future rivalry. So I thought that was great to see, Randy Orton for, once again to get a new coat of paint to obviously be about to ready to turn heel again, which should be interesting. And that'll be a cool feud to go into. Heel Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes would be insane considering all of the history they have with legacy and just everything that they've gone through together through the years. Um oh man. What was that? Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea
Re-
Ripley.
and Mommy, yeah.
Listen, man. I think that was a star-making performance for Raquel Rodriguez. I'm gonna keep it real. If anybody that watches this knows that I don't tune in to NXT. Forgive me. I don't. I wait till people get to the main roster because I feel like if you make it to the main roster, that means you did what you had to do down at NXT. Now you got my attention. So one day I'm gonna start. I plan on watching NXT at some point, but that day ain't today. So Raquel Rodriguez, I did not know of her or her work in NXT. when these people, so you got to understand, when these people come up from NXT, they are completely new entities to me. I'm not jaded by whatever they did in NXT or whatever following, whatever chants, whatever they used to do. No, I am a blank sheet of paper. When you hit my TV on Raw or SmackDown, that is when I start making my judgments. That is when I start, you know what I'm saying, taking my notes as to who you are. And Raquel Rodriguez, saying all that to say that I wasn't up on Raquel Rodriguez before she got to Raw. And I don't think that they've put her in position a lot of times for anyone to get to know her or to get to see what she's capable of doing. And this match in particular, I gotta give respect and props to Rhea Ripley, because I think she went out of her way to make sure Raquel Rodriguez had a star making match, had a match to make someone who's as jaded as I am go, damn, Raquel Rodriguez is kind of dope. Like, and I said that at the end of the match, and all credit to Raquel Rodriguez as well. I got a chance to see what she's capable of. She got a chance to put a little bit of more of her personality out there, and much respect, like I said, to Rhea Ripley for allowing that, because she could be a hole and be like, no, I want to look strong in this match. I no, but and what was really cool is, as someone who doesn't watch NXT, when they showed me the storyline that her and Raquel Rodriguez were actually friends, like really close friends, and probably still are, and that made it even more cool to me that Rhea Ripley went out of her way to be like, yeah, I'm mommy and I'm gonna shine and I'm a star, but right now I really want to put this light on a friend of mine who deserves it, because after seeing the video package and seeing the quality of match that Raquel Rodriguez put in at Night of Champions, she deserved that moment. And shame on WWE for not putting her in these type of positions more consistently and sooner. I look forward to seeing where her career goes after that match, because now I'm invested in Raquel Rodriguez after that match. In a losing effort, no less. Like, and that's something to be said about that too. That when you come out of a match better than you were and you lost, like Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13, he lost that match, but you cared more about him and he was a bigger star in a losing effort after he lost. And I think the same can be said for Raquel Rodriguez after this particular match at Night of Champions.
I love how you put that. I think that you are correct. So Raquel has been on the main roster for a very long time. The reason why you probably don't remember, and why a lot of people seem to put her to the side and not care, not fully invest, is she has the same skin condition as Tennille Dashwood, or Emma, who was also on the main roster. So she had to have time taken away from her career, and justifiably, she hasn't been able to build that repertoire. The She hasn't been able to do that unless they're in Texas, because she's from Laredo, which, if you know what Laredo is, it's Laredo. So it's not a big place. And for her and Roxanne Perez to now be able to be two shining women on that division, in that division on the main roster, is insane. And you're absolutely right, at least from like what I've been seeing, the internet's reaction to this match is, there were parts where people were concerned for Rhea and Raquel, but these two women are literally built for these kind of storylines, and they're built for these kind of matches. They are very tough women. Uh, they're tall, which means that they are attractions, they are attractive, and they deserve these spotlights. I don't like the fact, and I get religion, why these women can't wear normal attire. I completely understand that. But people have been making jokes that the Royal Rumble next year, because it's in Saudi, is going to look like a bunch of pink Power Rangers and yellow Power Rangers and blue Power Rangers and black Power Rangers. The colors, because the women
Yeah.
can't show a lot of skin. Um, but overall, these women did great, from what I've at least been able to see in the little highlights here and there. And then we actually have Sami Zayn versus Karrion Cross, which was put added because I forget whose match it was. Oh, Dom. It was supposed to be Dom and AJ, but instead it's Sami Zayn and Karrion Cross, which I don't know where we're going with Karrion because I know contractually he is up here soon. Um, I don't know what we're gonna do or what the focus is. I love what he is in professional wrestling, which is he brings out the worst in people that ultimately turns into the best. He made Nakamura evil. He made Randy. He arguably is the climax to when Roman started going down because after they teased the match of him and Roman and he put the sand dial, writing started going to where, oh, one member of the bloodline doesn't trust Roman, two members now, three members now he's losing matches. Now he's the downfall started going. So the character that they have for Karrion Cross gets me to watch. Like Karrion Cross is somebody that I want on Culture Mania. I want on Downtime in the Ring. I want to talk to this guy and pick this guy's brain because from people that I know at FSW out in Nevada, that's where he trained and where he got his start in wrestling. He's a really great person. But I just don't know where we're going with Sammy versus Karrion. What were your thoughts on that?
I was so happy for Karrion Cross to have a match at Night of Champions because I, as well, I'm intrigued by the character. I think that I love his little good cop, bad cop. He's the bad cop in your ear, whispering, what I'm saying, and manipulating, and he's the puppeteer, and I love that. So I'm glad he finally got his opportunity. As far as what WWE has planned for him, I think this is another situation like our truth or we want Cody, where it's like WWE has been backed into a corner that the outcry from the fans is so intense that if they don't do something with Karrion Cross, they are in fear of the show getting hijacked. They in fear of, like, it's almost like you'll make him a martyr, like if you don't do something with him, and then people will, just because you're not doing something with him, they'll start buying a bunch of Karrion Cross shirts and make him the number one shirt in the company and all of that. And the thing is, he deserves like to have a spotlight put on him because he work hard, he's dope in ring, and the character is amazing. Like my question is, I wonder what is the reason why they haven't organically pushed Karrion Cross? Why did it take all of this? Why did it take for us as fans to get pissed off for them to start putting him in position? But as far as him and Sami Zayn, it seems as though this rivalry is not over. And I think, if I may, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, I think Sami Zayn, as a well tenured member of the roster, I think he has influence and he got a little stroke, and I think that he's using his stroke to say, "I want to put this spotlight on a friend of mine. Like I'll use my star power to have a feud with Karrion Cross because he's deserving of it, and hopefully through this feud, the office will see how much of an asset he is, and then this will be the launching pad for him to have bigger and more intense rivalries in the future." And I think I want to give, I'll probably want to say maybe Sami Zayn is like, yo, I'll have a feud with Karrion
Mhm.
Cross because he's deserving of it.
You know what? We've seen that happen in the past. We've also seen the exact opposite happen in the past, unfortunately. And I do think that, they may be wanting to give Cross these opportunities. Hopefully we take this, we go from Night of Champions, take it to Saturday night's main event, end it at SummerSlam. If he is done after that, give him the win or make the loss interesting. You don't have to win. He can win dirty, and we can start building that Sami Zayn um, heel run into potential more world championship matches. A match that the fans absolutely hated.
I feel like I already know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
I don't think you are. It was Solo Sikoa defeating Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. From what I'm seeing, people are tired of the bloodline story. How are you? What are your thoughts?
As we should be. This story, this storyline has been going on for what, 5 years now,
5 years.
bro. I don't know if I don't know. The NWO didn't even go on that long. I think the NWO is from like what, 96, 97, 98, 99. And I feel like this might be in competition with the NWO for longest faction storyline. But I do think they need to stick a fork in the bloodline, man. Let it breathe, let it breathe, because now it's unrecognizable. Um, I think that at this point, I think the bloodline is supposed to be a faction that kind of puts Solo where he needs to be as an individual performer, giving him that street cred as a leader and somebody you should fear. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. I feel like these past couple months we've been watching Solo Sokoa come into his own. I think that when Jacob Fatu got there and started garnering all the attention that he started to get, I feel like it took a lot of pressure off of Solo Sokoa. I remember during that time period when Solo was feuding with Roman, I didn't 100% feel like Solo was comfortable in that role. I don't think that he thought, and I could be wrong because I'm just speculating, but it didn't feel like he was ready to embrace I'm the guy that's feuding with Roman Reigns. It didn't seem like he was ready to own that position. Now I feel like Solo Sikoa, since kind of like the attentions has been shifted to Jacob Fatu,
Mhm.
and now Solo has kind of been able to develop. It's not as much pressure on him. It's not like he's like in that main event spot. He like in that middle of the card spot that he's still, what I'm saying, he's able to find himself without it make or breaking the company. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like every week we're starting to see Solo Sokoa develop more and more into who he's about to become. And it's a joy to watch. As far as the match itself, I'm actually the match itself, um, if I can't remember it, then that means it don't mean it sucked. It just mean didn't nothing really stand out. But what does stand out to me about it is that I'm not upset at Solo Sokoa being the United States champion. Though I think that watching Jacob Fatu chase it will be more interesting than people chasing Jacob Fatu, because I think Jacob Fatu has one of those type of personalities you want to see him angry, upset, frustrated, and driven towards something. You know what I mean? So, giving him a heel factory like this new bloodline. Matter of fact, I don't even think they should call it the bloodline anymore. Solo should come up with like a new name for it, and maybe we'll like accept it. But I think that it's gonna be cool to watch Jacob Fatu chase it instead of having people chase him. And I'm also looking forward to seeing Solo Sokoa develop into his own, and I think the United States Championship is going to give him more of an opportunity to do that. So I'm looking forward to that. But the match itself at Night of Champions, I don't remember too much about it, and I watched it. So, but that's not shitting on the match. That's just saying I'm more excited about what's to come after than that particular match itself.
So, first thing, which NWO are you talking about? So you have the so you have the original, you have Hollywood, and then you have Wolfpack, and then you have Elite, and then you have NWO WWE. So if we go through where do we stop for you?
For me, I say,
Because you're going to be really surprised.
damn. So how long did the NWO storyline last? I
If
think I'm
you
about
if you take everything, every single thing,
right from 96 to when?
96 to 99, and then for 6 months or for 5 months in 2002. So for 4 years, 5 months, we have been dealing with the bloodline for longer than NWA and WCW were a thing.
Wow. The bloodline has officially been dragged out longer than the NWO. That's crazy. That's insane. That's insane. I think yeah, it's time. Like I think if Solo Sokoa's faction had a different name other than the Bloodline, I think we'd be more forgiving as an audience. I think just stop calling it the Bloodline. I think Solo should come on TV and cut a promo and say, "This is no longer because it's not the Bloodline no more." Because that dude, what is the dude's name? CJ.
JC Mateo, and he's not even Samoan, he's
That's what
Filipino.
I'm saying. He's JC. He's not even related, so it's not even the bloodline no more. So it's like and then was it Haku's son just joined?
Hikaleo, yeah.
So yeah, these are not people that are actually even related to Solo Sokoa anymore. So I don't think it should be called the bloodline. Call it something else, and I think that the fans will be more forgiving toward this particular faction.
I 100% agree because we have that problem where it is very much like, oh, cool. Now we're introducing other people. And don't get me wrong, I get your bag, be in WWE, run the place, have fun, do what you want to do. My dream is one day to stand in a ring and do something. Like I don't even care. Like either media or taking a picture, anything like that. Get your bag. But it is not in the most and what people don't realize is for Hikaleo, he has been backstage for a year, training, adjusting himself from the NJPW style. He was signed on almost a year ago to the week.
Mm.
So he has seen all the other stuff. He's seen Jacob even come in roughly around his time, and he still hasn't gotten the opportunity, and now he's coming on the tail end of whatever this story is, and it really does suck because yeah, you are there, and like I said, get your bag, have fun, live your dream, but it is probably not exactly what he's imagining it should be. And there'll be people in the comments or people online or people that message me and they're like, well, you would be happy doing whatever in WWE. Again, I said get your bag, but at the end of the night when he's sitting down, he's probably like, I'm part of the reason why this won't die.
Facts, man. Yep, you gotta what they say, man. You gotta make chicken salad out of chicken shit sometimes,
Yep.
man. So
Ne- Now the next match, the match that you texted me.
oh yeah, come on with it.
Oh, the 2025. The twin So I love when WWE has themes for certain events and they put it the winners are around a theme. Everybody remembers when Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey both won the Royal Rumble. It was themed around MMA, former MMA athletes. The year prior to that, Becky and Finn both won the Royal Rumble around the Irish, all that kind of stuff. I love it. What I don't like is that the king and queen of the ring this year was centered around former AEW superstars because Jade Cargill defeats Asuka in what I have been told is by far one of the worst matches Jade Cargill has had here in WWE in Saudi Arabia. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts.
He has to get it. He has to compose himself.
I do. My thoughts, bro. My thoughts. First of all, my disclaimer. I respect every professional wrestler. I am, if the term for fan is a mark, I'm a mark. My opinion is that of an opinion of somebody who's on the outside looking in, but I respect every single man and woman that lace up a pair of boots and do what they do. So my opinion probably means shit. So out the gate, I just want to say that. Uh this Jay Cargill thing, man. So listen, I'm gonna keep it so real. I followed Jay Cargill even before she was in AEW. I think she was like a fitness model or something.
Hmm.
And I think she got suggested to me in my, like, you know how Instagram might suggest, you who you should follow or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I always thought Jade Cargill was gorgeous, amazing body, just a beautiful woman, like all of that. She has a star quality about her. There's a natural charisma that she just has, right?
Hmm.
But my issue here, so nobody can take that away from her, but I think that she got put into a position that she needed a little more time to be able to adjust into. The in-ring work, every time I watch Jade Cargill, I pray that nobody gets hurt. Like, and not in like a way like where I'm watching wrestling and somebody could get hurt. No, I'm watching in a way where I'm like, every time Jade Cargill wrestle, it looks like she's going to fucking hurt somebody for real. And not good for real, not kayfabe for real. I mean for real. I mean like injure somebody. And it's like one day I was watching Jay Cargill on like SmackDown or PLE, bro, and I remember thinking to myself, why was AEW Jay Cargill so much more doper than WWE Jay Cargill? And I remember it was because she was doing the Goldberg gimmick where she never lost and she didn't have to take bumps and she didn't like, yeah, she got to beat people in like 30 seconds, so she never really had to have like real matches. And
Hmm.
that kind of added to the persona, much like Goldberg, and much respect to Goldberg. But it's much like Goldberg, where I remember Paul Heyman said one time, you accentuate the positives and hide the negatives. And the reason why Jade Cargill looks so amazing in AEW is because Tony Khan or whoever was booking did that. They hid all of her flaws and accentuated her positives. Her positives. She looks strong, so book her strong. You know what I'm saying? When she's in the ring. She has a charisma about herself. So you can give her time to like talk on the mic and have her baddies and all of that. Like it was like AEW. This is probably the first time this will ever be said in life. I think AEW booked Jade Cargill better than WWE.
It's fair. It is 100% fair because first off, Jade has been hurt in WWE. Jade wasn't hurt in AEW. Mind you, that shouldn't factor too much, but she has taken time off is what I'm trying to say. And with her taking time off and, pretending to be killed in that storyline, um it has lowered her value to the fans. Also, shout out to Brandon Phillips, her husband. He used to play for the Angels. I love him. Only in that part. When he played for everybody else, I don't really care. But it, it it's tough because we know, if you know her past and the way that she has talked about professional wrestling when she was in AEW, I don't have the rose colored glasses, to where I'm like, potentially she could be a good star because she has the same mentality towards professional wrestling that Ronda Rousey does, where she doesn't need it.
Really?
Yeah. And she said it before. She doesn't need to wrestle. She said it in a more respectful way than what Ronda Rousey said. She said, "Do you know who I am? All the things I've accomplished in my life," which, if you look at her resume, fair, absolutely fair. She built like 17 businesses before she even stepped into a ring. So she's just very much like, I don't need wrestling the same way wrestling doesn't need me, which fair. I wish more. I wish there were a couple of veterans on the, in wrestling that would think that way, where they're like, you know what, I am here as a privilege. I am not entitled to anything, but that doesn't give me the same glasses as other fans who have seen her in AEW, and they're like, man, I know what she can do. Because you're right, she was booked way better. She was booked way better over there. Um, I think I don't think they should have put Asuka in this tournament.
Mm.
I don't think it doesn't raise Jade's stock at all. It doesn't hurt Asuka because Asuka's going to be loved regardless. Even when Asuka goes heel, Asuka's still going to be loved regardless. I just think it was a very waste of an opponent. Like, you should have put her against a Kairi Sane. You should have put her against a Alexa Bliss or a Chelsea Green. Like, have Chelsea Green go to Saudi. You should have put Jade Cargill against somebody that wasn't Asuka, because it didn't do anything for the match. It was it was just a wasted match. Um Evolution 2 is going to happen in Atlanta. So we know Jade is going to have something because she is from Atlanta. She is going to have something unique. She is going to have something cool. But what, like, unless she's winning a title, which don't, she shouldn't be the one to take it off Tiffany Stratton, for one. There's no reason to have the build up for her now. I get it. It's Evolution. She is not the name that you need to build around. You have an Io Sky. You have a Tiffany Stratton. You have a new women's United States champion, Julia. You have Stephanie Vaquer. You're going to have it, ladies on NXT. That's my personal opinion. This was a waste of a match. Congratulations that she gets to cement herself in professional wrestling history as being a queen of the ring. That is a huge honor. That is badass. But the match itself didn't need to happen.
You said a couple things I wanted to address.
Yeah.
So for one, you said her perspective on pro wrestling is kind of like Ronda Rousey's, like, I don't need this, right?
Yeah.
So then I would have to say, like, then why do it at all? Because the thing is, like, people can say what they want. And here's another thing, just like how I'm like oblivious to like NXT, I'm very oblivious to like social media culture and stuff like that. So I don't know why people hate Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I have no clue. Like, all I know is that he's a social media influencer, and I only became aware of Logan Paul when he came to WWE. So here's the thing. Logan Paul doesn't need to be in WWE,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't wrestle like he doesn't need WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So if one day they put Logan Paul in the WWE Hall of Fame, I say congratulations, you should, because that is crazy that he quote unquote doesn't need WWE and puts on the performances that he do. Like I said, I don't know what he did to like piss everybody off when he was a YouTuber or whatever the case may be, but good, that makes him a better heel. He's got a dope heel persona and he's dope as shit in the ring. Like, he's believable. He knows how to play a character. He gets it. So my thing is, I just don't understand in a case like Jade Cargill, like, I don't need this. It's like, well, okay, then why do it at all? It's like, if you gotta at least have respect for the fact that this is a craft, man, that us as fans, we watch it and we want to be entertained. And then the people that she's in the ring with, some of them have worked their whole lives to do this shit. And to just be like, well, I could have a shitty match because I don't need to be here. Well, then don't be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we doing? Like, it's like, I really hope that this is a case of her just needing to spend a little bit more time training. And I hope it's not a lackadaisical attitude of I don't give a shit, because then that would make me really, I don't know her as a person, but that would make
Mm-hmm.
me turn the channel whenever I seen Jade Cargill. If like really that, if that's her perspective, that I don't have to get better because I don't need to be here, that would suck, man.
Yes. So Jade Cargill famously stated, I don't need wrestling during her discussions about her initial WWE tryout and subsequent signing with WWE. She expressed that WWE had interest in signing her when they were concerned about her level of commitment because she didn't feel the same desperation as other recruits who viewed wrestling as their sole path. Um, Cargill emphasized that she saw herself as more than just another number and wanted to be part of a company that was hungry for a change. So yes, so she said, so she did say it, that she doesn't need wrestling. And you know, for somebody, when you get a tryout, and from what I've gotten to learn, you're dealing with a lot of former stars. You're dealing with the coaches, i.e., one of my favorite coaches, Matt Bloom, or Tensai, or A Train,
I
or
was gonna say
Albert.
A Train, Prince Albert.
So you're dealing with Matt Bloom, and Matt Bloom is not a very easy person to deal with. So I can see why she probably did say this, and I could see why WWE didn't initially sign her compared to AEW signing her, because you know that was still in a different regime back then. And Triple H didn't have as much creative control, and he was worried more about NXT than the entire company. Uh, so those are my thoughts on Jade Cargill. Like I said, I can't ever take away what she's been able to build. I just think you wasted Queen of the Ring on a wrong winner. I solely think you should have given Queen of the Ring to Rhea and let Jade qualify for a match in a different way, because King, because Queen Bloody Ripley is a t-shirt, is a poster, is a trading card, is
Yeah,
everything more than Queen Cargill.
that's a fact. But at this point, WWE, I feel like I don't know how much they paying Jay Cargill, but I feel like at this point they like we got to get a return on our investment. You know, we can't just bury her. Now they have to make her the star that she was perceived to be when they signed her. And the thing is, I would like to take the time too. Let's give it up for Naomi. We're gonna give it up for Naomi, and I'm gonna tell you why we're gonna give it up for Naomi. Give it up for Naomi for the match that she had with Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Not after seeing the Oscar match. Take in how hard Naomi had to work to make that match at WrestleMania work with Jade Cargill. Like she is amazing because I wasn't disgusted by that match at WrestleMania. I was disgusted by the match at Night of Champions. The match with Naomi and Jade at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
I what I thought to myself is, man, Naomi is working her ass off and she is a true professional. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I got out of the match. And so Jay, that's funny. I think this is the first time in my life that a current match has made me have greater appreciation for how hard somebody else worked in a previous match that happened like 3 months ago. So it's like I just want to say, um, man, the match was not good. If you couldn't tell, that's how I felt. No, the match wasn't good. And also, I'm really still hoping that Jade Cargill snaps into a zone, and I don't know whether it's need more time training or just I don't know what it is, but I just hope the work in the ring gets better because I still want to like Jade Cargill. I want to, but it's like every time we in a situation that I gotta like Jade Cargill is like, no, the match is not good, or so no, the match wasn't good, and I really hope she gets better. And yes, they did waste the Queen of the Ring. I wish Oscar would have won. And I just don't want to sound like a hater. I'm just a wise person once said telling the truth ain't hating, and this is just my truth, man. And I just want Jay Cargill to get better, man.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, bro. I have no hate towards that, man. We all just want every wrestler to be good or
Yes.
better. Like that's it. Is like every wrestler that gets crapped on, we want them to get better so that fans can't crap on them. Even though realistically, we know fans are going to do that regardless. Now the main event featured the reason why we will all hate wrestling in a good way. John Cena versus the voice of the voiceless, my least favorite wrestler in the entire universe. I'm starting to grow on him just a little bit, not a whole lot. Phillip Brooks, also known as CM Punk, in a match that made my childhood heart happy that it at least happened. I didn't get to watch it live. I'll get to watch it though. John Cena versus CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship. What did you think?
D, let me tell you something, all right? There was 10 plus years WWE would come to Michigan. Okay? And you know what I would do? CM Punk. CM Punk. That's what I would do.
I
10
knew it.
years. I'm talking about I got so many dirty looks from kids. I got dirty looks from adults that wished I would shut up while I was there live. I was one of those people chanting CM Punk for 10 years. And you know, that's my dog. I got best in the world on my tatted right there. Best in the world. Boom in the CM Punk font. That's how
I
big that's how big of a mark for CM Punk I am.
oh my god. Oh, and I have never been a fan of hip. So my first ever WWE event was a live event in Lubbock, Texas.
Mhm.
And he was the main event, and I liked him until I grew up and I started realizing more about him. I was his fan at that show because it was him versus Alberto Del Rio for the WWE Championship. And he used a rubber chicken that was thrown into the ring by fans. And so they called the match in there, and he's beating Del Rio with the rubber chicken. And I'm thinking this is great, but I've never been a fan of his. And so to see you have that tattooed right there
Bang!
is so wild.
Bang! Best in the world. Bang!
Oh my gosh. So what?
It's
Oh,
clobbering time.
I hate it so
No,
much.
no. You needed to get. It's clobbering time.
I did say
No.
he has been growing on me. I do like the way that because I'm not going to lie, when he first came back, the night he came back was like, I think a few days before my birthday. And we would do live streams of Downtime in the Ring. And I remember it because I'm at my aunt's. I have it playing for my grandfather. He comes out. My grandfather's like, what? He came back after all this time? And I look at my aunt and I'm like, I have to go report this. You know, everybody and their mother that night is going to report it. I got to get on live stream before most other people so that people will watch my stream. And I still, I'll say it. I had so much doubt that he was going to be able to turn it around after the things that happened in AEW. And, you know, with AEW doing what they did by showing the security video because they thought they were going to have the upper hand, that was kind of when I was like, okay, I still don't like him, but he didn't do anything too crazy. He still did wrong, people, but he didn't do anything insane. It wasn't this whole giant propaganda that he was this 50-foot monster terrorizing Tony Khan at Wembley Stadium during All In. So it is taking some time for him to grow on me a little bit more. And when a year ago, I'd be like, I would never want to talk to him. Now I do. Now I want to pick his brain a little bit and figure out who he is on the outside. I think that these two gentlemen, I I do feel as if these two gentlemen aren't done because it was only announced one time that this was the last time. I feel like the last time for these two gentlemen needs to be in December.
You think so?
Now, why do I say that? Why do I say that instead of a
Give
young
it to me.
guy, a Logan Paul, a Solo Sikoa, a Jacob Fatu? Because you're not. I don't want them to build somebody that eventually is not going to get a world title for a year. I want my childhood the same way with Avengers, the Avengers Endgame, when Tony Stark dies and we start this new set, or the way that it's reported for Secret Wars, and then we'll reboot the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I want this to be the end of my childhood. I want John Cena and CM Punk. CM Punk wants one more title. Deal. But you have to put away John Cena. Why? Because the CM Punk fans are going to cry and be like, he got it one more time. And the Cena fans, all of us, are going to cry because we're going to be like, this was the final one. And those two gentlemen, no matter the age, have the chemistry where they could put it on. I'd love to see it in John's hometown or his home arena. I would love to see this come to the end. I like I said, I saw them only announce it once, maybe twice, that this was the last time. I think they're trying to play around with that idea. And CM Punk is the best person. If they don't take the belt off him at SummerSlam, give it to Punk. Let Punk get it in December. Let Punk get his finally his wish of walking into WrestleMania as champion in the main event in Las Vegas again, and just do that. But I'm gonna stick to my foot and say, as great as this match was, from the highlights and all the craziness that happened, I don't think they're done, and they definitely need to have it one more time. And I think in December.
I could dig it. I could dig it. I don't know you. Hmm. Because I am intrigued on how they're gonna book these last, what is it, 13 appearances or something like that.
I think he's at 16 right now.
That's insane. So it is going to be interesting to see how he goes out, because I thought they would have ended it with him and Cody, and then him finally dropping the belt back to Cody in his last match, and it ending up in some climactic. John Cena comes to his senses and remembers that he's hustle, loyalty, and respect, and we have this cry moment, like, you know what I mean. But now it's him and Cody at SummerSlam, so I don't know. I don't know. So I'm intrigued. I'm interested in what these last 16 bookings are going to be. But as far as the match, I figured that Cena was going to win. Um, like I said, it was nostalgia service. You know what I mean? And I, like I told you, every time I see Seth Rollins and his faction, I kind of, I kind of smack my lip. I smack my lips and get quietly pissed off because because it's like it is. But I will tell you though, whatever is, like, I'm loving the fact that on Saturday night's main event it's gonna be Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. Because yeah, yeah, that's my
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. I'm happy for LA Knight because I really think that he deserves the spotlight. If we're gonna keep putting a spotlight on Jade Cargill, then stop playing, man. We can't shine a little light on my dog LA Knight. So I'm happy about Seth and LA Knight at Saturday night's main event. But as far as the match, Cena versus Punk, I thought, yeah, it was nostalgia service, and I'm glad we got to see it at least one more time before both of them call it quits.
We are towards the end um of this episode, and it was mostly towards Night of Champions. We're going to come in next week, and next week we talk about Saturday nights. We are going to have a really long episode next week because we have to discuss Saturday night's main event. I have to give my thoughts on NXT's Great American Bash, and we have to figure out what the booking is going to be for Evolution 2. We are stacked next week, my guy.
We
It's going
are
to be a longer
stacked.
it's going to be a longer week. But
Yes.
what are your final thoughts of Night of Champions this week?
Final thoughts. I thought I thought the crowd's energy in Saudi Arabia was amazing. I think us as American wrestling fans are so spoiled, and I think we should be ashamed of ourselves that whenever WWE goes out of the country, the energy is so amazing and you could feel it through the screen. Like one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time was Backlash from Puerto Rico, which that's to me one of the craziest, like just the feeling, you could feel it. And so I think us as fans, we got to do better. You know, I think sometimes everybody's a booker now. So when we at the show, we don't allow ourselves to be fans. So we're sitting there booking the matches we're seeing in real time, like, oh, why did they do that? Or this person fucked up, or why didn't this person go over? So we're missing out on the fan experience. So that's the first thing I thought. That big ups to Saudi Arabia for just being an amazing audience, first and foremost. We got to do better as Americans. Um, Overall, I thought it was thought it was cool. I mean, the thing is, we get so many PLEs now. It's hard to have it's it's hard to know what the standard is. So it's like if so is it like, okay, as far as PLEs go, if WrestleMania is like a 10 or a 9, then now I'm comparing all PLEs to whatever WrestleMania was.
Mhm.
So, you know, so it's just kind of difficult sometimes to judge these PLEs because you got so many Raw, SmackDown, and it's a PLE, and then like you said, Saturday night's main event, and it's just so many. So for what it was, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. I didn't hate it. I had a good. It was a good time was had by all. Is the way that I'll say about Night of Champions. A good time was had by all. Did I wish a couple outcomes of a couple different matches? Do I wish they were better? Yes. I hated the fact that Jay Cargill won. I'm happy for Karrion Cross. Happy for Cody Rhodes. Happy that Cena and Punk had that their last match. I'm happy to see Solo Sokoa get this reign. So now it's like it's a make or break time for Solo Sokoa. So I'm happy about Night of Champions and what it's leading into going forward.
Ladies and
Ladies and
gentlemen, this was our episode. Culture Mania. We were thoughts on Night of Champions. You can follow John. John, you got any other projects coming out this week? It seems like you have something coming out almost every 2 weeks.
well, please go check out my project with the legendary KLC of Beats by the Pound, who produced all of the big hits for No Limit Records back in the day. Man, go check it out. It's out right now on my site, www.connorculture.com. The name of the project is 24 by Jon Connor and KLC. Follow me on all my social sites, and it's at JonConnorMusic at Jon Connor Music on everything. I had a brain fart just then. But yeah, so check out the music, follow me, and yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody next time to talk some pro wrestling.
And you can follow me at Ingorilla if you're watching on Ingorilla.com. Thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, you can watch this also on Ingorilla.com or connorculture.com. It is INGUERILLA.com. You can catch all of our stuff or many of the newer content creators that we are bringing on. We are expanding our variety of content. We're super excited. We just partnered with another indie media company, so we're going to have more indie wrestling. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, if you earlier in the episode, if you're in New Mexico and you're coming to the UFO festival, the international one, head over, come say hi to me, help me out, come donate to the kids, donate your time, donate your energy, anything like that. You're going to get tagged in some NFL posts, I'll say that. So go do all that, hang out, let's play some Madden, let's talk about what we can do better on this planet for the kids, and we will see each and every single one of you in the next video.